So good morning everybody. Today is another day in the corporate world and I'm trying to put my time in the morning to good use, and I want to share with you some tips of how I use my time in the morning in the car on my way to work to perfect my German, which is now my working language. So what I usually have to do, I have to wake up quite early and around 6 something I'm on my way. And sometimes I will have time for a session in the morning before work. I start at 8. And the first day I had no idea how traffic was to Santa Cruz, so I left a bit late and it was raining, and instead of the normal calculated Google Maps trip of 27 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, it ended up being an hour 27. Yeah, but I had left quite early, so it wasn't that big a problem. And it's already the third day at my new job, and I'm already getting bored in the car listening to the radio. So what I do with this time while I'm driving, today it was around 35 minutes drive, is that I practice my languages. So I live in Spain, in Tenerife, and if I put on the radio, obviously I have a gazillion radio stations in Spanish, en español, but I work in German. Actually, in the beginning the training is in English, but my work will be in German, and my German is the last language that I learned. And I wouldn't say I'm native level, definitely not. I'm still perfecting my German. I don't speak it every day. I have a good passive understanding, passive use of the language, but actively I really have to... I feel growing pains, so... it's a struggle. It's not like English. English comes so easy. It's native level for me. So what do? I use this time. A lot of people complain, oh my god, what a waste of time on the road, and it can be a waste of time. Or here's what I do. I put on my favorite audiobook. I love to work with not literary texts, but like worked texts, so texts which have been proofread, and you know, the foreign language is quite good. If it is a published book, then definitely is going to be pretty good quality text for you to use. And on Audible, what I love on Audible is that I can change the tempo of how it is read. And normally the tempo, if I listen to it for the first time, I will put it on 1 or 125, because this book in particular, I'm still reading Natasha Wegelin, or reading. Actually, I have in the text, both text and audio. That can help. I put it on 1 or 125 because it's too slow. But when I read it the second time, or I listen to it the second time or the third time, I put it on 1 or 0.75, so that it's a bit slower, because the second time around I recognize the text and I start repeating chunks. I start repeating blocks of expressions and phrases, so that I get used to how they are put together in the language. I don't stress about, so I'm just driving and listening to the audiobook, and it is on a content that it has meaning to me, that I am interested in. I could not learn a language on content that is irrelevant to me, and I suggest you pick a topic, pick an audiobook, pick some kind of content that is fascinating to you, be it sports or literature or like finances, like I'm reading now for some reason. the content having meaning for you is very, very important. You will see how much you can stick to the material when it's actually meaningful to you. And there's another advantage, that you start recognizing what the author means to say, and you extract the meaning without checking, without needing a dictionary. The whole book is about pretty much the same topic or connected topics, which means you don't have to go to auxiliary material to figure out what he's trying to say or she's trying to say. You just eventually you pick up where they're going, because, or what they're talking about, or what the expression wants to say. And this is excellent, because in the previous video about learning, I told you, leave the puzzle open, figure it out yourself. If you figure it out yourself, you will definitely remember it. If you extract the pattern by yourself, or if you extract the meaning by yourself, you will definitely remember it better, because you have put energy into the process of figuring it out. And this is fast learning. If you keep going to the solution over and over again, it's like trying to solve a math problem by looking at the key, you know. You want to try to figure it out by yourself, and you will remember, I went left, I should have gone right. I remember that because I've been through the process, and it's just embodied somehow. The language becomes embodied, the structures become embodied. And what you need to do is, and what I'm a bit lazy at, I have to say, is to repeat verbally, loud, not loud, like out loud, what you're hearing, the structures you're hearing. Repeat the blocks of 3-4 words that are declined and make sense together, and you will remember it like this. And then try to take out the infinitive structure, to rephrase it in an infinitive way, like you would see in a phrase book, for example. Sich melden, hat sich gemeldet, something like this, you know, the infinitive and the already in use structure. What else? Yeah, you don't have to, I mean, the plus in the car is that I feel totally comfortable talking out loud. There's already a bit of noise. When I'm at home, you know, it's all quiet, and I don't feel so much like repeating after the audiobook. But in the car, going someplace, you can use the time to just listen to the script and listen to the audiobook and just try to repeat correctly, and get your mouth and your muscles used to how to pronounce, you know, say it once, twice, 3 times. Don't worry about the content, that the content keeps going. It's irrelevant. You're trying to pick out just phrases the second, third time that you listen to a book. You don't need to hear every word. Don't stress about that. Oh my god, I missed that phrase, I have to go back. Don't. Just watch the road, and just use your ears. Just think of the content. And I have to say, I tune out. I tune in and I tune out as I need to. And I don't stress about, oh my god, for the past 2 minutes I was not listening to the audiobook. It's okay. It's okay, because overall I keep coming back to the content, and my body just decides, you know what, I need to focus on this. I really need to, this is important right now. Or now I'm just stuck in traffic, and I can just listen more to the audiobook. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this, don't. This is what I do in the car. If you feel it's dangerous, safety first, okay? I'm not telling you don't fiddle with the telephone, God forbid. So it's just a listening, like you would be listening to the radio, except on the radio they talk fast, and they talk colloquial sometimes, and they talk stuff that is not always put in the correct, you know, grammar or in the correct use. And what an audiobook gives you is correct structures, accurate language, accurate grammar, proofread texts, and read carefully by somebody who's actually focusing on correct pronunciation, and nothing no dialects, or so it's like I'm listening obviously to Hochdeutsch, proper German, the way it's supposed to be spoken. That's the plus of an audiobook. Radio is also good, you know, but radio is like already advanced, or in the sense of can be very colloquial. It would not make such a good impression at a job interview, for example. It's not the professional level you want. But obviously, for hanging out with friends and over beer, over cerveza, it's excellent to listen to radio and practice on that. Although the rhythm, the tempo they use might annoy you for a learning experience. And with Audible, this is what I love. And any other book that is not in like Audible format, it's such a stress to put it into my laptop and use Audacity to change the tempo. And usually I don't. Thank God I'm at the level with pretty much all my languages that I no longer have to change the tempo to receive, you know, satisfaction of working with a language. That's a plus. But I still use it sometimes. Sometimes I still use it. Alright guys, enough for the tips of how to use your potentially wasted time in traffic or traveling from A to B. Buy audiobooks. They're awesome. I love Audible. It's my best foreign language teacher. Okay. Share your tips in the comments. I'm curious how you do it and how you use your dead time. Alright, have a nice day. Ciao.